going into my basketball. Every time I rock, man, this is how we rap and raw. Peace to my man, now we got the camera out. Every time I spit it, cross over the...
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu, and you're tuning into episode 58 of the TLOY Talks podcast. As mentioned before, and like a whole lot of other ones, you can get on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Buzzsprout, wherever you get like a podcast like platform and all that to tap in and check out. And we're definitely gonna get started from here and all that. And for this one, we have like this polarizing, amazing artist, from Toronto and all that, who infuses trap, metal, and hip hop like within all these sounds. Has released like a variety of projects called Everyone's Cooler Than You, Avant-Garde Hood Classic, My Angel Deborah. Has done like the Gorilla tour like all over Ontario and Quebec and all that, and is like one of the most like rising artists to blow and all that. We have Calvin Moon in the building. How are you doing today, man?
Yo, what's up? I'm doing great, bro. Finally here. Yo, sick.
Yeah, man.
the
Like
vibe is here for sure. Yeah,
man. Like I had to like definitely like tap in with your sound and all that too, and just getting that energy going. And like when I first heard of your sound, it kind of reminded me more like City Morgue, JPEG Mafia, and all that. Some Ski Mask, like the Slump God here and there too. And a lot of the projects are kind of unique too, because it started off with this whole like conscious vibe and all that. This whole like lo-fi hip hop vibe, and then like it amped up to the whole like punk sound and all that, with the punk metal trap and like sound and all that, and just kind of worked from there and all that.
Yeah. But like when it comes to my music, I could say that like I feel like we all have like some form of rage inside of us, and we just need different outputs, and like mine is just so happens to like work with music. But if I had to say anything when it comes to inspirations, like growing up, I didn't listen to anything like crazy, unless if it was like on MTV or something with like some heavy metal shit. But like I don't remember any of the names. But like if I have to say anybody that like kept me going through like the dark times through music, it would have to be like fucking like Katy Perry or something, because like that's what was gripping me as a child,
Yeah, I think the Teenage Dream album was like probably like one of the best projects she ever released.
Yeah,
for a very long time and all that. I think it's like one of the classics. I mean,
that shit
hit
changed
after hit
my life.
after hit and all that. Like it's better than any other project that she actually dropped and all that. So,
yeah, bro.
Yeah,
fine as fuck. Yeah.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get it started right here. So, you grew up in Toronto, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, where did you grow up, and what was like the environment like for you growing up at that end? Would you say you had like a good childhood at that time, or was it like different?
When it comes to Toronto, I would say that like, so coming from Toronto, I grew up with. Okay, wait, hold on. Sorry. So when it comes to Toronto, I come from Mississauga, but my whole career and everything that I've done work-wise is from Toronto. So like I say most artists say they're from Toronto because it's just easier to say than if you're from like Whitby or something, right? So I came from like the most, I would say, no offense, the most blandest part of Ontario, which is Mississauga. And I sort of found myself in Toronto, And my journey started from just constantly DMing every promoter, asking them, hey, how can I get on a show? How can I do this? How can I do that? Connecting with every artist. And then I found like this one show called 6Z, and they had a show on a rooftop. We almost broke the roof. And yeah, ever since then it was history. Like I just started connecting with every artist within Toronto, and then it's like most of my day is spent in Toronto, so it's like I'm a Torontonian here and there. Like I wouldn't say I'm from like, even though like childhood everything is from Mississauga, there's nothing in Mississauga that I would say that has really shaped me to be who I am today, other than just figuring out what I don't want in life, and that a lot of that is in Mississauga,
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean and all that. I mean, Mississauga actually does have like a lot of like dope artists and all that. They have like Party Next Door and all that. They have Junior T and all that. They also have like Ram Riddles and all that. Ali Gatti, and also AR Paisley. Like he just signed to like Warner Music Canada and all that. And I think Mississauga right now, they actually do have a very dope scene right now and all that. I kind of get it from the perspective of how it might not be the best like when it comes to the underground too. But I feel like it does have like some good artists here and there too, and I think it's improving from what it was before with like Square One and the condos and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, like when it comes to Mississauga, it's like all those artists are great. It's perfectly great in their space, but like an artist like me, like someone who's like raw, someone who wants to captivate an audience with all these new brash ideas. I feel like Mississauga just doesn't cater to me. And like that's how I felt my whole life, you know? Like I always felt like there was like nothing for me, you know? Like, and it's crazy because it's like when a black guy wants to rap and there's no space for that in the music scene, and it's like what, like who am I at that point, you know?
Yeah, nah.
So it's just like I never fit in with even the African American community. So it was just like finding my fitting is just like it was so hard. Like I would say the punk scene in Mississauga is like I don't even know if there is because it's just but yeah.
I know what you mean, man. And you know, what were you like from the start of birth until like adulthood and all that?
When I was like a child, right? I told myself at a very young age, okay, so you can like I have to do something and I have to do it to the best of my ability. And I gave myself two options: join the entertainment industry or become a superhero. And I really wanted to be a superhero, but I told myself, let me get rich in the entertainment industry and then become a superhero later. So moving onwards, I sort of found my fitting within film, and I sort of used that to like create my own world, you know? And I felt like with film, there's like all these different options and stuff when it comes to showing people what you are and like who's your story, you know? And I feel like music plays a big part in that. And I didn't realize that until like high school, when I actually like paid attention to like music theory and like figuring out like different keys and like scores and stuff. And then other than that, it just started like progressing into me making my own songs, and I'm like, you know what, why don't I just start rapping, you know? And I remember my first rap actually was from Sailor Moon theme song remix. And I was just like, why not try that out, you know? But other than that, you know the vibe.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Were you big into anime like as like a kid and all that, you know, just like with the shows, like I mean there's like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon?
Was I big into anime? Was I big into anime? Of course. I am a One Piece fan at heart. I am a Gurren Lagann fan at heart. I am a Death Note fan at heart. Yeah, that's pretty much it for anime. I would say like I love anime. Oh, and yeah, anime always gave me like a comfort when it comes to just watching people get beat up and stuff, you know, and it was fun, you know. But yeah, other than that, yeah, animation in general, honestly, you know. But yeah.
So if you had to pick like an era on which had like the better anime and all that, like old school or like new school and all that, with the old school being like shows like I think Gundam and all that, and like I think, you know, old school like Pokemon and all that, and also I think this other one too that I like, the Big O and all that I'm recently like watching right now, which is like pretty dope. Or would you say like the new school era, like in that sense?
I would say if I would have to choose, I'm more of an old school guy, only because I never kept up with anime during the new school era. And every time when I see something, I'm just like, it's basically the same thing as the old school, but like with like new costumes and new this, new that. Like when you really break it down, a lot of these animes are just like, I'm gonna work hard until my knuckles bleed, and then I'll have enough power to like break the planet Earth or something, you know? Like,
Nah,
like
I know what you mean, man.
yeah,
100%
but
too.
other than that, you know, it's a vibe.
Yeah, man. And I know that you talked about like creating like your first song or your first rap song for the Sailor Moon remix theme song and all that, and like getting into like MTV and other sounds too. But what were like your other like introductions to music at first, and who were like some artists or genres you listened to like growing up aside from like Katy Perry?
Shoot. Growing up, I felt like I never really connected with the artist until I listened to Donald Glover. I feel like Donald Glover has really, without Donald Glover, I wouldn't know who I am, you know? Because like saying I literally came from walking down the street and like I was a kid, so like everything is like traumatizing if it's done right, you know? So it's just like I was walking down the street. I saw my own people. They would look at me and just go like, "Yo, what are you wearing?" Because I used to wear like a fanny pack or shit, you know, and just like I would constantly get rejected by like every form of the community. I always felt so weird to a point where it's like I'm too white for the black kids and too black for the whites, and then it's just like I never really found my fitting, and then I felt like Donald Glover was like that fitting for me, you know, and he's so popular now, like his kind, like my kind is so popular like now, which is just insane to me because it's like I wish I grew up now, you know, because then I would definitely be like different. But like other than that, you know, it's just like Donald Glover really shined something in me that really showed me what to do, you know?
Nah, 100% too. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of his projects were like very amazing too. Camp was like very good. I mean, the Royalty mixtape, that was actually one of my favorites, you know, just like
Fire.
with the songs alone.
Yes,
I think it's
sir.
like better than like a lot of other projects too, even though because the internet is also like another dope project too. I think it's like more revered, you know, because of the style and all that. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, nah, like Donald's been going hard at it lately, you know.
Yeah,
So
bro. Royalty was like, bro, I used to listen to Royalty so much. Like that one song with Nipsey Hussle.
yeah,
Well, I forgot the name, but like, bro, One
Yeah.
Up. I think that's the name.
yeah.
Something like that. But it was fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, my favorite one was like with him and I think Danny Brown and all that, like from that Royalty mixtape, like just like the beat alone was like just like fire and all that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
bro. It's just like nerds that rap, bro. Like we got some shit to say too, you know?
Yeah, I know
Like,
what you mean,
damn.
man. Nah, for sure. And what was like your musical background and history like?
Musical background. It's so funny because like when it comes to music, I only have like one family member. Actually, okay, I have two family members that are technically within the music industry. I have one uncle who owns like a sound entertainment industry like thing with like setting up sound for like events and stuff, and he really rocks with like working with other artists, throwing events, you know, just like it's a good thing, you know, and it's for like reggae music and stuff, dance halls, super cool, super fun. And then other than that, my aunt was actually a singer called Carrie Ann Scorpion. And I remember seeing her and then being like, oh, yo, this is cool. But like it didn't really change my life, you know, but it was just like it was cool. But like everything musically around me was mostly centered around like reggae and stuff. And I find now that like I have a new appreciation for reggae more now than like before. Cause before it was like I was being forced to listen to it, you know? I find that with like a lot of things. I think I'm just growing up or something, you know? Cause like same
Yeah.
thing with soup. Like I used to be forced to eat soup and then now I'm just like, oh, it's whatever. But yeah, just like reggae music, all that. I grew up around like just like a lot of reggae, honestly. Like there wasn't anything else that was playing in my house. But other than that, I was really just like, whenever I listened to anything, it would always just come from like different forms of media, like wrestling, movies, TV shows, anime. You know, it never really came from like straight from the source, you know? And I
Yeah.
appreciate that because it's sort of like when a song hits you, it's like you're not thinking about the artist, you're not thinking about the numbers, you're not thinking about if it's popular or not. You're just thinking how it makes you feel, you know? And like that feeling stuck with me, and like that's what I really want to do now is just make music that just changes people,
Yeah.
you know?
Nah, 100%
But
too,
yeah.
man. Yeah, nah, I definitely know what you mean too. And I think just like even with the uniqueness of a sound, like it just like kind of goes in within like what you're gonna do and like knowing on how that approach like kind of works out too. And you know, just like even with this whole like idea, like right now, what inspired you to become like a rapper and artist and like even like taking it seriously and all that?
When it comes to just like taking rap seriously, I remember for the longest time I never took it seriously because it was just like my space wasn't providing that encouragement, you know, that like a rapper really needs. Because a lot of rap is like ego and a lot of self belief, you know. And if like starting off the gate, I can like people who just start off rap and really take it seriously, good on them because that's just like ridiculously hard. Like I like what had me take rap seriously would have to be the pandemic. you know, because the pandemic locked me in my room for so long to a point where I'm all like, for my whole, like for majority of my life up until now, I've been making choices for other people. And I always felt that like, why am I doing that? Like, why am I not making choices for me? I'm like, I literally, everybody that I was afraid of, I wasn't even seeing them anymore, you know? So it was just like, let me just take a step forward and then just take my music seriously, use all the skills that I have and tell stories and really try and grip our audience, you know? And ever since then, you know, it's just like a lot of it came from just like self-belief and also breakups. That thank you to my last girlfriend in high school, because if I didn't break up with her, I wouldn't take rap as seriously. Because a lot of it came from, if I'm being honest, a lot of it came from just wanting to be like, oh, you broke up with a famous rapper? I guess you're dumb. But no hate, but like, yeah, just like stuff like that, you know what I mean?
I think like with breakup music or just like, you know, dissing my ex music is like very interesting too, just like even within the concept too. I mean, SZA had a song where, you know, Kill Bill and all that, where she's like, you know, I might kill my ex, do 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 do. And like, I mean, Blueface and like Krishan just like dropped a song with Lil Mabu and all that, like the New York drill rapper who's like a white kid who graduated like from a private school and all that.
Oh yeah, that Lil Malibu. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I don't even know where to start with that guy. I mean, good on him, you know. Like the thing about media in general, everything is so precise to a point where there's like a million groups, there's a million niches, and I guess people just want to listen to whatever now. And like, congrats to Lil Malibu for finding an audience. The audience is not me, but
Nah, 100% too, man.
yeah.
But getting into your sound right now, who are you like mainly influenced by in terms of like artists and genres, and who would you like to work with someday, like musically?
That's a good question. See, like with me in music is like, I wouldn't want to work with someone who I really, really like A$AP Rocky for sure. Like, cause like I love his music, I love everything about him, but like, dude, it's just like, I don't think I could vibe with him in a studio, you know? It's just like, I don't know if I could vibe with someone like A$AP Rocky, even though I really fuck with it. But if I have to say anybody that I would like to work with, it would have to be, I would like to work with like a Denzel Curry, Paris, Texas, someone who's like up and coming, you know? Someone who could like, I could just vibe with in a studio, you know, that doesn't have like a giant like weight on them, you know. And this is like, because like when I think about it, would I want to make a song with Kendrick? Like a part of me, yes, but like right now, I feel like I would rather work with someone that's like coming up, you know, someone who's like really doing their thing. So yeah, just like just all the up and comer like big rappers. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
I definitely see you working with like JPEG Mafia and all that.
Yeah.
Jaleel, like he's also like pretty dope too.
Fire.
There's like this artist from Montreal named like Backwash who kind of makes like, you know, dark like rap music, you know, dark horrorcore like hip hop music and all that.
Backwash.
And, you know, yeah, like
Fire.
they actually have like a unique sound that like really that comes with it. I definitely see you maybe with Xavier Wolf or Chris Travis too, like depending on the vibe too. Ski Master Some God as well too. I think, but he might fit into that big artist too because he's already like up there like with A$AP Rocky and Kendrick, but he's not really technically like he's still working with like small artists too and all that. So,
Yeah, I feel that, bro. Like literally, I was down in New York, right? And if I have to say anything about meeting big artists, if I don't actually feel anything from them, like I saw Gunna and everybody was like chasing him. Everybody was like begging to see Gunna. And I was just standing there and I could care less because like not one Gunna song has like moved me, you know? But I saw Denzel Curry just walking down the street, no security, no nothing. And I had to run up to him and tell him everything that I was thinking. Cause like Denzel Curry is someone that I respect a lot in music, you know? Cause one, he's doing it independently. Two, he puts on like real rappers, like someone who like really like cares about their craft and stuff, you know? So it's just like Denzel Curry, I was moved by, and I had to just like say my piece. But other than that, just like I'm not really moved by anybody who's like too mainstream, you know? Like if I saw Justin Bieber,
Yeah.
I'm fine. But yeah.
Nah, I know what you mean, man. And usually for like first time listeners, how would you like describe your music to them, and what can they expect from you like when they listen to it?
The first time listeners, I would say expect a lot of energy. Yeah, just like because like so much of my songs, I feel like I'm always like bouncing around and trying different things, and I feel like so much of my songs just come from energy, you know, and I really try and like pinpoint like the music into like something crazy. Like if I would have to suggest one song, if someone would have to listen to like one song that I never listened to my music before, I would suggest Hippo. Like Hippo is like honestly my best produced song like ever to this day. Like I still think about it, and it's like as soon as I heard the melody that my boy Dre made like when he made that melody, I was just like instantly hooked. I was like, yo, I gotta do like justice to this beat, you know? It was just one of those times, you know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. And like even with this whole like sound too, like how do you describe your creative process, like when making music, and what would like a day in the studio be like?
A day in the studio is a lot of playing the same, like, bro, when I tell you, it's so annoying. I wish it was like something that's like crazy fun and energetic, but like a lot of the time it's like, I sound weird. I need to rewrite my lyrics. I need to do that. It's a lot of pre-planning for like the first half of the beat, and as soon as I get like a good chorus and verse down, then the rest just like comes. But like a lot of it just like comes from just like mumbling on the beat and be like, like that. Like it's all about the melodies for me. Cause like if I get a good melody, then I can write good lyrics to that melody and then create a sonically perfect sound, you know? And that's what I feel like a lot of people need to pay attention to, which is like find something that sounds good but still hits hard, you know? Cause I don't want people to say nonsense, but if you're saying something, it has to sound good, you know? I feel like a lot of people just say stuff and then you know.
No, I know what you mean too. I know with some people too, they kind of like play with like different setups and all that, with like the lighting and all that. Some people bring like a candle to the studio and all that too. Some people like kind of blaze up and kind of like sip liquor and all that, or like get food and eat. Like what's your like style like when you're in the studio?
Lock myself in my room until I get super sweaty, and then I take like a 15-minute breather, and then I lock myself back in the room. Like, bro, when I tell you, it's the energy, bro. It's like you lock yourself in your room, you're gonna be just smelling yourself. You're gonna be like, you're like all that energy is gonna be surrounding you, and you're gonna go insane, and then that's what's gonna like perfectly translate into the music. At least for me, you know, because like my music is crazy. So it's like when it comes to me, I usually just lock myself in a room and say, you're not going anywhere until you finish this friggin' song. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, like it's a lot of just like crazy energy. But
for sure, you know. And I actually wanted to ask, how did you get your stage name?
My like studio?
No, your stage name, like
stage name? Oh, it literally came from there's this really cool YouTuber, RIP Etika. And he made this one song called, can I say the N-word here? No.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was thinking the whole time, like, do I cuss her out? But yeah, he made this one song called Nigga Moon, which is a parody to Sailor Moon. And then I made, like, while I was like practicing lyrics and stuff, I remember this in high school. I'm like, yo, I want to make something fun. So he made a video to Nigga Moon, and I'm like, yo, Nigga Moon sounds cool. I wonder what it'll be like for like Calvin Moon. So I made a song for Calvin Moon, and then the rest is history. I'm like, I like how Calvin Moon sounds, you know? Because before, my stage name was trash. It was like some shit like Canadian Dragon. That sounds like a PS4 name, like a PSN or something, bro. Ugh. But yeah, just like Calvin Moon sort of always just rung off the tongue for me, because it's something that's like, you could scream it at the top of your chest, be all like, Calvin fucking Moon, you know, he's here to stay. And then you could also be like, yo, Calvin Moon, he's sort of like, he's chill, he's nice. It's something that's sweet and like still like pointy at the tip,
Like
you
a
know?
cactus and all
Yeah,
that.
it's just like I like it. It sticks, you know?
Nah, 100% too. You know, and did you even like make a music video for that track
Uh, did I make a music video for what?
for Calvin Moon?
Oh, for nah, that's unreleased, bro. That's not. It's not seeing the nothing.
Yo, I think like when that gets released, you gotta have like a music video and all that, and you gotta have like a Sailor Moon like look-alike like in that video and all that. Like I think that would kind of make it like interesting too and all that.
Yes, sir.
Like kind of like bustify her and all that. You know,
Yeah, I
where you
got
just-
that with anime waifus. I see you. He's a man of culture. I like that.
Yeah, man. For sure. You know, and to get more onto this like process right now, I actually want to ask this like question first. How is it like, you know, experiencing, you know, how was your experience immersing into the Toronto music scene? Were there ever like any opportunities for you to branch out and interact with many artists in the Toronto scene? Like aside from like asking promoters to like be in those shows and all that?
Oh, dude, when I tell you, I think with COVID, it was a blessing in disguise when it comes to the music scene because a lot of people were starting at different times, right? But then COVID put everybody at stop. And then as soon as we got the green light to do something, that's when everybody was just starting at the same time. And that's when we all started to notice each other and notice each other's crafts and really build a movement, you know? If I have to say anybody outside of rap that I still respect in music to this day, it would have to be like a band like Sophia Side, you know? I saw them on like the rooftop show. And this was back when I was like, okay, I'm gonna perform soon. I gotta make sure I have crazy energy, but like I don't know what I'm supposed to do at like my level. Am I supposed to come on stage, introduce myself, say hello everybody, hope everybody's doing good, say some jokes, say something? But like when I tell you, they literally came on stage and just said fuck it, and then just like went straight into their music. And like ever since then, I was like, bro, I gotta just like do my own thing and really just like focus on the music side of my performance, you know? And the other things just come with it, you know, when it comes to fashion, style, anything. I'm just having fun with it, you know? And yeah, but like other than that, like the whole Toronto scene, there's so much gems. There's like Kian Gannon with photos. There's Jetlag with sick photos too. There's Ali, he's my my homeboy that I went on tour with. There's my big homie Dre Made This. He's a producer. Got all the homies in like who else? Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody. He's Six Zed, Winter Skies, No Status. He's also my homie. He's gonna kill me that I didn't say his name first. But other than that, all my homies, man. Like literally everybody in the scene, I just love how everybody's sort of connecting each other. And something that I pay attention to at least is just whenever I see an opportunity, I just put people on, you know? Like I just like tell people like, hey, you should do this, you should do that. Like Unsighted with hosting like Quota Toronto shows. Like I told Quota Toronto that they should get Unsighted as a host. And before, I don't even know if he was doing hosting before, but like I saw Unsighted, like I booked Unsighted for a show, like one of my shows, No Status, right? And the way that he was interacting with the crowd, I'm like, bro, this guy is fire. Like, he's funny, he's great, he's energetic, you know, he's sick. So I'm like, bro, Quoted, you need to get your game up, get Unsighted, you know? And like, I was just so happy to see that he was actually enjoying it. He was taking it seriously. Like, artists who take their craft seriously, there's still fun in that, you know? There's no, I feel like it's less fun when you half-ass things, you know? Which is insane, you know? Because it's like, yeah, but other than that, you know, it's just like, if I have to say anything, it's just if you're in the scene, you gotta put people on.
Yeah,
like,
man.
we gotta build each other and build a strong connection. Just let all of our egos take a break and just do your thing,
man.
you know?
And I definitely agree too with the whole like you know your stance on like how how COVID helped like a lot of Toronto artists like kind of get into the like lane and all that too, because when I first started like hearing more about what's going on with the pandemic and in regards to like the artists and all that too, like there were like artists like, you know, Dom Valley like posting music on TikTok that kind of blew up, you know, people like 3478 and, you know, dropping music, you know, blowing up on TikTok and all that, and like also like other ones that just kind of come here and there and all that. This guy named Talk and all that, who had Runaway to Mars and all that. He started off as like a TikTok artist and then kind of became big from there, and then then it led to like other artists from other scenes like becoming big, you know, with the whole like underground wave and all that, and how it's like encapsulating within the Toronto sound too, with like, you know, people like 10K Moss and all that, you know, people within the quoted Toronto scene
Yes,
with
sir.
Bartlett House and like a lot of other groups like Studio 145, and it just became bigger and better than ever, you know?
Yeah, bro, you really know your stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out you, bro.
Yeah, man,
All
for
right.
sure, you know, and to even speak more about your genre blending style of infusing trap, metal, and like hip hop and rap and all that, what made you decide on infusing those genres together in your music, and if it appealed more to like different audiences and all that?
It's so funny. Like literally, there was a moment in my time, like in my like with making music, where I would be rapping and I would have to make sure I don't like make too much noise because I live in a black household. I'm gonna get my ass beat if I cause a ruckus. So, but yeah, I started rapping at my friend's house, right? And they would always tell me like, "Oh, did you just keep it down a little bit?" Like they were still homies, you know. It was my boy Dre, so like we're still homies, but it was just like I gotta keep my voice down. So I always talked with like I was always rapping with like, "Oh yeah, this is what I say, yada yada yada," and I would always rap like this because like I just had to, you know. And then at some point, people started calling me monotone when I just rapped, and I was like, bro, that irritated me, and I was just like, I just need to try out just like really letting out my crazy side because I had all that built up energy from before, you know. So, I remember the day I started to yell in my songs was my mom left the house. I was home alone. My friend Cameron from Connie, shout out Connie, he posts on his story a song. That song's from Baby Keem. Baby Keem, you know Baby Keem. His energy is like infectious, you know. He's just doing his thing. He's yelling, and I felt like for me, coming from someone who has like such a high pitched voice and stuff, and like it was cool to hear like someone like Baby Keem on a track. So I was like, yo, let me try like yelling on a track, you know, and I have nothing to lose. I tried that, and that my first song that I did that was like Be Tardy. And then ever since then, I just started like the pathway started just making itself, and I started to hear new ways to yell, to make music, you know? And yeah, I just started to do that, you know, and my parents eventually caught note of it. They were chill about it now. They know that, hey, he's doing his thing, you know? Like I feel like something that they can't deny is when they saw me open for Afro Man and then see the crowd when I was doing my thing, you know? That's when it's like, okay, we can say anything we want, but like this guy's definitely doing something, you know? Like he's not doing nothing.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
100% too. And you know, even with projects that you have right now, I mean, My Angel, like Deborah, it's actually like a pretty interesting project that I've actually like listened to too. Everyone's like Cool in the New. It's like also like pretty amazing too. And like, what were like the creative process of like those projects as well as like Avant-Garde Hood Classic and like, you know, Calvin's like Afterlife and The Invisible and all that?
All right, okay. So starting with Calvin the Invisible, that was literally made with like I think a film editing software. It was one of those days where I was listening to like a lot of Clairo, a lot of bedroom pop, and I started to experiment with just like making fun, happy, nice, chill music, you know? And then Calvin's Afterlife was like middle of the pandemic. So before I actually started to do anything with my music, I still like this was at like I have periods in time, right? So at that point I thought that the way to make it into the industry was to pay a large amount of money for like features and stuff, right? So I paid for a feature from like Retrospectro. Do you know who that is? I bet you know who it is when I like tell you like a description. Like, do you know that one guy who does like peace sign and then he disappears?
Oh yeah,
black guy. Yeah, him, bro. I got him on a track. he gave me like I paid $500, and he gave me this huge thing where he's all like, "Yo, I'ma shout you out on my page. I'ma do this. I'ma do that." Didn't do any of this. And he just left me with a cool verse. Like the verse still slapped, but like, bro, I was like, bro, you ain't gonna shout me out or nothing. Like, I just, Anyways,
but he still followed you on IG, right?
no, No, it's depressing times, brother. Depressing times, but don't worry. It's a pathway of self-worth, bro. It's a pathway,
Oh,
you know. So like, bro, when I tell you the amount of money that I spent on features, it was, like at least I would say my well-spent feature would have to be a cool rapper coming from New York called Gab the Sandbox. He's dope. He's cool. He followed me on IG. He shouted out the song. He did his due diligence. I feel like that's what you need to do as like a feature, you know, just do the bare minimum. But yeah, other than that, God, moving from the Calvin Afterlife, I started to experiment with my sound with my Angel Deborah. And at that point, I was just always thinking about how, like, it was a lot from the breakup, if I'm being honest. Like, if you can hear it in the name, My Angel Deborah. Yeah. But, yeah, it was just like a lot. Like, a lot of that just came from, okay, now is the time to make something that's gonna show off how cool you are, and that she missed out on leaving you for some white guy, you know? That this was the moment, you know, and I really took myself seriously on that like album, and I really tried to make music that I like to listen to, you know. So I made all types of stuff with like, we got like some heavy trap metal, and then I sort of mixed around with like just like pure punk shit, like with like I'm So Shit Face, you know, and like other than that, it sort of just made itself like its own thing, you know. I sort of felt like I started to understand the album more as time goes by, because like at first I was still in like the problem. I was still thinking about how like I was just treating myself like trash, you know, and like I just needed some creative output, and like that album did me so much justice. So thank you to all the women that broke my heart in high school, cuz you guys made a cool album with My Angel Deborah. So that's to all of you. That's the only credit y'all gonna get. But other than that, I feel like with Everybody's Cooler Than You, it was really my album for me, you know? It was my album that I wanted to create for myself, something that I would be proud of. And I really put my all into it, you know? Like I tried it was like less of like trying new things and more of like knowing what I'm doing, you know? So I really honed in on all my skill sets, and I really tried to make something that was like heavy hitting. And I think I succeeded for the most part, even though I feel like I could have done a little bit better in some parts that pick up the slack. But like, that's with every artist, you know? But like, bro, when I tell you like, Everybody's Cooler Than You, I get more proud each day that album came out. And I like, when more people start listening to it and realize that like I'm one of the sickest rappers to come from Toronto, well, there you go. But other than that, you know, Everybody's Cooler Than You, sick as fuck. And then Avant-Garde Hood Classic sort of just snuck up on me, you know? Because like at that point, I made Everybody's Cooler Than You. And I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Take a break or something? And I'm like, no, just like, just make something. Just make an EP, see what happens. And then I felt like when I actually released it, I was like, dude, this is actually pretty like I still think about how the hell am I supposed to top Avant-Garde like Hood Classic? Because it's just like, for me, it's like, it's short, but it's like so much on the point where like the beat selection, like my vocal delivery, everything is just like, I fuck with it heavy. I feel like I'm just meat riding myself.
Yeah, man.
Other than that, you know, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like, I feel like with Avant-Garde Hood Classic, I would really just like, it snuck up on me because it was everything that was left from Everybody's Cooler Than You, and it sort of just
like manifested into something better.
Yeah, you know, just like pinpointed. You know?
And, you know, for two things that I could say, like in regards to like features and all that too, these are just like kind of like a little bit of my advice too and all that. If you're gonna pay for a feature too, reach out to the manager first and all that, then the artist too, because artists can like take that money and, you know, they go like young bands with it and never even like pay for a top 5 feature like in your life, because you're gonna get scammed for that.
Bro,
come on
Retro Spectro, at least he gave me a verse. I paid like I think like $200 for a feature, and I didn't even get a verse, bro. I just got oh, sorry, I'm still working on the song. And I'm like, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like to this day, he still didn't send me this. I was like, oh.
Always reach out to the manager. You know,
Yeah,
come on,
bro.
man.
God damn.
But 100% too. You know, and you know, getting more onto like the whole like fan base like aspect right now. How did you manage to grow your fan base from the start of your career until now? And what were like some ways or practices to initiate that growth and like maintaining that fan base?
It really just comes from just being a down to earth guy. I feel like nowadays so much people want to go Hollywood so fast to a point where like they don't enjoy the times where they can just walk down the street and maybe someone will notice you. You know, so like with me, I always just like to be down to earth with my fans. If anybody talks to me about my music, I'll be like, yo, that's so dope that you know me from music, you know? Like I remember I was doing a show for Connie, which is a sick ass band, bro. Like their music fire as fuck. They only have one song in this. It's already a classic. But fucking I was doing a show for Connie. I just finished my set. One of my sickest sets, I believe. Like the crowd was fucking insane. Like it was one of those times where the crowd was like actually like yelling my lyrics. And I was like, bro, like this like it's a whole nother level for me at that point. So then I'm done the set. Go outside, take a breather. Someone walks up to me and says, yo, I went to like 3 of your shows already. And I just wanted to say like, good job. Like, keep it up, bro. Like your shit's like fire. Like they always say how good I'm doing. And then they always followed up with like talking shit about some next artist or something. I'm like, damn, bro. Like I know like this guy was talking shit on like Earl Sweatshirt or something, but I was just like, yeah, it's whatever, you know.
Yeah,
We're two different niggas, you know. But
100% too.
yeah, bro.
Were you ever at that point where you actually had that chance to sign like some tits and like some ass and all that? You know, like girls coming up to you, hey, can you like sign my tits and all that type of stuff?
No, not yet, brother. Not yet. It's coming. It's coming, bro. Get your tits and ass ready. It's coming. I swear to God. No, but yeah, like literally, I feel like Afro Man was the biggest opportunity for that, but you know, I was sort of just like I was chilling that night. So
I mean, they were there for like Afro Man and all that.
Yeah, you know, I didn't want to do too crazy, but if I have to say anything, some people were eyeing me down because I had a whole thing where I took my shirt off and stuff, and I'm like, if I really wanted to, it would have happened. But it's coming, and I have such a sick signature for it too. Like so, like I'm always waiting for that. But yeah.
Man. 100% too, man. And I know you had like a tour, like, you know, that you just like had like a while back to the Gorilla tour and all that. You were like in Kingston, Hamilton, Toronto, I think Oshawa too, and like I think Montreal as well too. So how did that come about, and how was it like, you know, performing all over?
Yeah, bro. We went to Ottawa, Montreal, and yeah, Toronto. Oh yeah, and Kingston. Yeah, and Kingston. I always forget Kingston because Kingston was the most dead show. It was literally like some old ass people, and like they're like it was like a family was watching me just like cuss and be a rapper. I was like, what the hell? What's going on? Yeah. It was still a vibe, but like, oh my, I was not expecting that, bro. But yeah, Kingston was a vibe. But tour in general, it was definitely, I got a taste of touring and I loved it. Like, I just like, cause it's like when you're going city to city, playing different people, knowing that they're going to your show only in this place because it's like, it's like they're Toronto, you know? Yeah. And it's just like, help spreading the underground around like other parts of Canada is like so vital to the Canadian music industry, you know? And I feel like this is where I feel like Canada sort of like loses their grip with artists when it comes to the forefront, because it's like they always want to put on an artist who they give a shit ton of money to make some mid song for the music like videos and the deals, all this yada yada yada, and it just doesn't touch anybody, you know? It just doesn't. Nobody's feeling, for me at least, like I'm not really getting moved by anybody. And I'm just saying that like on a personal note, like our scene could be popping right now if we were government funded, but everything is just coming out of pocket from everybody, you know? Man. And that's just because like Canada doesn't want to, yeah, they don't want to invest in like that real shit. They want to invest in like some pretty boy or whatever. But moving past that, like I feel like when it comes to the underground is taking care of itself and it's doing a damn good job. And it's only going to go up from there, you know? It's only going to go up.
Yeah, man. I mean, and I think for you, like you actually took in the effort to actually go within those like other like cities and all that. There's like not a lot of like Toronto artists like even at your level. Like even there's like others that have like more followers than you that haven't even like did like a 10 or 15 city tour and all that. You like with the amount of followers and like style you have, you actually made that effort. So I kind of have to give like props on you on
Yeah.
all that, So, and like for a lot of like Toronto artists out there, that aren't on that aspect of touring, go hit up every other city, make your like stops and all that, and make sure it's fire and all that.
Exactly.
Let's see if that fan base goes there and all that either way.
Exactly. Don't be scared to play a dead show. That's the last
Yeah.
thing you need to do. Be scared to play a dead show. When I tell you, I played so much dead shows to a point where it's like, I don't care. I'm still gonna do my thing. People are still gonna vibe. There's gonna be at least one person that I touch,
Yeah,
and
man.
it just comes from just like being a down to earth person and just fucking vibing,
man.
Like everybody's so scared.
Yeah,
It's
man.
just-
And if Calvin can do it, so can you.
Exactly.
That, even if it's like a dead show, you got to make it work either way.
Exactly. If a nerdy dark skin with a fanny pack could rap and
Yeah.
and sell out shows, and then the next day play a dead show for somebody's grandma. Come on, bro. What are you doing? What are
Yeah,
you doing?
man.
What are they doing? I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And what were like some interesting, crazy tour stories you had, and what were like some do's and don'ts for an artist like on tour that you'd like to share?
Crazy tour stories. Okay. Oh, if I have to say anything, definitely think about what you're eating, because you cannot survive on like only Oreos or junk food for so long. Because when I tell you touring, I ate so much junk food. It was just like, and then it was just so much driving on top of that. I was just like, oh my God, I'm dying. And then when I go on stage, it doesn't help me. I still did my thing, but like, it was like, bro, like, I think when it comes to health, focus on eating good on tour. Just like calm down. Don't do nothing crazy. It's not a vacation. It's work. But other than that, just like always try and touch one person. Always like with your music, please. It was like, yeah, always try and like vibe with one person. You have to at least get one fan from each show in like a different city, and you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Because it's like, of course, nobody, like, you're not gonna sell out a whole like a big stage or something
Yeah.
with an artist that like nobody knows in your city. But it's okay, because you get that 1, 2, 3 person, and that 1, 2, 3 can turn into like at least 150
exactly.
the next time, and then it just keeps growing through there. And that's how you make your fan base. That's how you actually create something that's like valid. I feel like so much of our music is so like to the algorithm, and it's just like there's so much injustice when it comes to the spotlight. And
Yeah,
I feel like when it comes to the spotlight, the people deserve to listen to something that they actually like.
Yeah, man.
And I don't want to come from like someone who's like a hater, but like, for Pete's sake, if you like, there's like, it's just like, if I could say anything, just I wish that we could pay more attention to creating art for the meaning of art, instead of creating art for the meaning of like just like making money and stuff, and then just like for like the attention, for everything that comes with making great art. You have to make the great art. You can't skip the great art to do all the cool stuff, because the cool stuff is cool, but like you have to deserve it.
Yeah, man. Nah,
You know?
I'm too, and I feel like there's always like the stigma for like non-street artists and like female artists like in Toronto too, that you have to actually like have some like meaning to your music in order for people to like listen to it, because when people think about like the Toronto underground and the Toronto music scene, they think smoking on your dead ops and all that, or doing a drill in the lane and all that, or in the Vern and all this like type of stuff and all that, and all this like foolishness and all that too. And for you, how do you even feel about like that sense? Do you ever feel like there's like a stigma for those like artists, and what to be recognized and like taken seriously as opposed to like Toronto street artists? And what can we do to remove that stigma and like shed more light on them?
Bro, when I tell you to remove the stigma, we need actual attention to the hip hop scene. Because I tell you, all these people that are giving money to quote unquote hip hop artists or whatever, they don't even listen to hip hop themselves. They don't even listen to the music that they're so-called supporting. They're like, bro, they're the same people to be all like, oh, my friends don't really like rap, so I don't really think we could do that. Like, I never heard like a music genre get so much like shade for just existing than it's rap, bro. Like, rap is just the number one thing that is just always just like people either really fuck with it, will defend it with their whole heart, or you're going to like get like just like an insecure, like, oh, I don't know if I'll like this. You know, this is like about like smoking on your dead ops and like dead people and like I don't want to die. You know, I care about my life, and I'm like, bro, there's so much to hip hop. You just have to pay attention. There's so much subgenres. There's so much, especially today, like with what I said, with like so much like accuracy when it comes to pinpointing who you are and what you like, you know, like there's so much different stuff that comes from hip hop. To say that it's not like to not give it its proper flowers is so infuriating, you know? This is
too, because you know, even like with some people too, like even like in high school too, like there was like kids like back then that would talk about like, you know, I'd rather like listen to a street artist too because it's like real than, you know, someone who is like creative and all that. And like it gets into this weird discussion where, you know, if you don't rate like Pressa or Top 5 or all these other people, like you're like a waste man and all that too. Like your music's not buzzing, you're not YG, do. But then those people might not even be able to like cross like the border at like one point or another and all that. Whereas someone who isn't about that life is gonna do shows in the States and all that, getting like different fans like all over. So
bro, it's like its own like you like it's like we're just trapping ourselves in a box where it's like, okay, you can be popping for like 5 seconds by like killing someone and making a song about it, but like you can't leave Canada. Who's gonna go to your show? Mostly hoodmans. Hopefully nothing happens over there to like any innocent bystanders or to like anybody like that. Man. Like, do you want people to feel safe and have fun, or do you want people to be on the edge of their seat in a bad way for like, oh, what is it gonna do? What's gonna happen? Is he gonna punch somebody on stage? It's just you know, just like come on, bro. Take it from the nerdy nigga. Just chill. Just take a chill pill. Come on, read a book. read a book. Read some manga. Something.
I'm
but yeah.
100% too, you know. Yo, this is like kind of like crazy too. Do you feel like your latest project, everyone's so cooler than you, like the hosts are like still like tapping in, or is it gonna be like a process to get the hosts like tapping in for a bit?
Ah man, when I tell you, the hosts aren't. I mean, I see a lot of women at my shows. More than when I mean I actually see women, a lot of women vibing with my music. So I think I'm a little bit safe on that. But like when I tell you, like when that mosh pit starts, it's just niggas. It's just, I mean, there could be that one girl, but you always hear about that girl like afterwards being like, yo, I just shoved the fuck out of this one tiny white girl, bro. But like she took it like a man. I was like, bro. You know, but like, you know, it's just, when it comes to the vibe, they can like, I'd like, girl, like, to all the women out there, tap in with my music. You know what you're doing. Come on. It's you can shake your ass to something, like to Plastic Friends, to Hippo, to something. Like, come on, like help a brother out. Please.
Facts, man. And
you know?
Yeah, we just have these few questions left, but do you ever have like any regrets in your life, or do you regret nothing?
Regret in my life. You know, I live to this day feeling like I have no regrets.
All right.
But if I have to say anything, nah, never mind. I was gonna say something like super petty. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And you know, I always like say this for every other person, like on my platform, and all that, like, you know, starting this year and all that, to get people to like tap into their like music and all that. But name 3 songs in your catalog that you would recommend to any person that has not heard about you before or that would like to know more about you. Like, let's say if someone from like San Francisco, like California, or like, you know, Lisbon, Portugal, wants to know more about Calvin Moon. Like, what tracks can you like put on?
Shout out Portugal. Definitely Hippo. I'm so shit faced, and Fashion Kills. And I know some people are gonna hate me that I didn't say break a motherfucking neck, but that's just because everybody already knows that song, and I love that song. and you love that song. And you're going to hear about that regardless, just searching up my name. So, Hippo, give Hippo more love, please. Please. But yeah.
All right, man. And what do you have coming up next and all that too? And do you have any closing remarks you'd like to say?
I got this new album coming out soon called UBK. I am working like a slave trying to get that shit done, you know. Like I'm applying the pressure onto myself to really make something different, to make something that is like something that really moves people in a way where like someone on my level hasn't moved them. And like I want with this album to just I want to pay attention to the motion of it and really create a piece that really like just moves the people. And it really fucks with like making a vibe, you know. So UBK, that shit's coming out soon, and it's gonna be everything. It's gonna be my whole life, the ups, the downs, the times I felt like I wasn't shit to the times where I was the shit, you know. So tap in when UBK comes out. Yes, sir.
Yo, and where can they follow you on social media and all that?
Right now on Instagram, my name is Calvin EZY. Other than that, just search up Calvin Moon on Spotify, Apple Music, Calvin Moon BB on TikTok. Yeah, a lot of my stuff's on Instagram, and if you want the music, it's on all the platforms. And yeah, you know,
All
that's
right.
what's up.
That is what it is, you know. So Calvin, you know, thank you for coming by, man.
God
to giving
bless,
like
brother.
a dope conversation and all that, to kind of making it like very interesting too. You know, we definitely shared some gems and everything else too. Josh, also known as Yashu. You could find this on all platforms, like wherever you like tap in with your podcast and all that. I don't have to like kind of explain more. I'm just saying check it out with your favorite podcast platform. Or hey, if you're on YouTube, you have a YouTube account, like log in. Like just tap in from there, like, comment, and subscribe.
Come on, hoes.
Follow on all platforms and all that. The hoes, you know, they could like
Tap
definitely
in.
tap
You
in.
gotta
as well,
tap in, bro.
And,
Tap in with my boy. What you doing?
yeah,
on,
man.
brother.
And 58. 58. We're almost to 60 right now, so
58.
definitely like tap in. Signing off.
Yes, sir. Fire. Fire.